Now coming to your objects and arrays, uh, if someone asks you how do you determine if an item is an array an object, because for example, if you write array is equal to this and maybe a var of obj is equal to an object, when you do a console log of type of arr and type of obj, you get both as objects. So when it comes to checking if it is an array or an object, you have to do array is array. You can do this. So this is how we check if it's an array. Else, if it is an object, then we know it's an object. Now, let's say value or let's call it I place is PLR. If you want to check if this object has a property and its own property, we can do something called so obj.has own property, and we can pass in a name, for example, and we get true in this case. If you were right place, you get true. This does not work for inherited properties. If you wanted to check for inherited properties, you need to go for I think get enumerable properties or get properties. So it's called get on property names. Get on. Yeah, sorry. We have to write it as object dot get on property names, and we can pass in your object into this. So how you write object dot keys, right? Similar to that. It's names. So you get the values here. If you were to write only keys, you get only the keys which are inside it. But with property names, we also get non-enumerable properties. This kind of makes sense if, let's see what happens with array. So for example, with array, we get length as a property with get on property names. But if you are writing object.keys, we get empty here in this case. So if let's say one, or let's put 1 2 3 4 5, we would get 1 2 3 4 5 there. But if you were to put get on property names, we would get length also after that. So array works inside object also, because array is an object. Now there are other methods also which are there in the object prototype. So if you look at the object methods, you can use object.assign. So this is similar to your spread operators. So your spread operators kind of replace this as such. You can create a new object with an existing object. So this is similar to, I would say, inheritance as such. So I would recommend you watch the video of creating your own array, or the prototype chain which I've done. Then you will have an understanding of these two. You can define also property. So, or if you want to create your own property inside an object, you can create your own. So here, uh, let's say you want to create a, let's say an length property. So what you can write is object dot create, or it's called define property. So my bad, define property. It takes the object in reference, the name, and then the values or methods to it. So let's pass obj. Let's give it length, and let's give it value as the initial value. So let's say 0. Let's say writable as true. Let's say enumerable as false. So if you were to pass obj here, you would get on property names, and we would pass obj there. We would get the length value. But if you were to write object dot keys, we wouldn't get the length there. So if you were to write console.log of obj.length, right, we would get 0 as the answer. So if you did this, we would know that our value of obj length is also now changed. If we change this to false, we can see that at this point it is increasing, but it's not really changing the value of obj length, because we have made writable as false. So there are many things you can do with defined properties and stuff. If you go to get defined properties, I guess it might take, yeah, I think it just takes multiple arguments.